the next Glam and Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether it's your first time or you're coming back. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I know there are a lot of choices out there, and you're stopping by and you're hanging out with me, where I do a little bit of glam and a little bit of gab. And today I'm gonna really do a little bit of glam. We're gonna do our stay-at-home skincare on a Sunday routine. And I want to do some gab. I want to gab up. I want to do an unbox. My kids never watch my channel, so I think it's pretty safe to unbox this guy. This is a big cardboard Easter egg with the shop Lidl. We do a fair amount of our shopping at Lidl. I know there's some Lidls in the US, but it's a very popular sort of middle of the line, doesn't break the bank, and you find some really cool stuff at Lidl. And so when I saw this, I needed to get the egg going. I know he's going to turn 18, but every kid, I don't care the age, wants their Easter candy. So here's the egg. We're going to unbox it European style. We tend to do what? Hidden baskets in the US and in Canada with all of the strings and confetti inside. And in Europe, many European countries go with these cardboard eggs. They stuff them full of stuff for their kids. And would you believe there's an egg even bigger than this? I didn't go for the biggest egg. I went for the second biggest egg, and you'll see what I put in there. It'll be fun. I thought it would be a fun cultural touch to put in to the video. All right, so what did I say I'm doing? I'm staying home for the most part. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of at-home skincare. I'm not going to do any masks. I'm going in. You've seen me use these before if you're tracking my channel. First Aid Beauty. 28 pads come in this thing, and I'm going to need to do a repurchase. And I'm actually a little bit sad. Like, the price point on Amazon for these is $16, which I don't think that breaks the bank, especially if you can compare it to, say, Charlotte Tilbury, where she sells some cleansing pads as well. I think you get more than 28, but I think they're over $60. I just can't justify spending over $60 for a little refreshing pad. But I was really bummed that the Amazon spring sale that's going on doesn't have these on markdown. I've been checking every day to see if they go on markdown. All right, let's let that dry a little bit. You know what the star of the show today is going to be? Because even though I'm just staying home, I still want to have my skincare on, right? But I want to have like a little bit of glow. Like if I catch myself looking, I want to say like, oh, I've got a really nice healthy glow going on. And you know what? There is one product that's my go-to when I want to just have that, like something on top of my skincare that's given a little something life to my face, if you will, but it's not necessarily pigmented or something that's going to be tough for me to wash off at the end of the day. So when I want that vibe, I grab my Burt's Bees Goodness Glows Miracle Balm. So it's going to be sort of a stay-at-home skincare, liven up the face with some balm. I'm also going to use my Juicy Berry Tinted Lip and Cheek Balm from Essence. This won't break the bank. These two products will not break the bank. And even if you're just going out and you don't want to have a lot of makeup on, I feel like balms are kind of the way to go. All right, let's give a little spritz. We're going to use the fragrance-free, clean beauty, alcohol-free, Ready, Set, Refresh setting spray from the brand Idun. If you missed the video I did on Idun, it's a Swedish brand named after the goddess of beauty, youth, and rejuvenation, commonly associated with spring, the goddess Idun, that this company based their line off of. It's very clean. It's vegan friendly. It's a really nice line that I wouldn't mind picking up more products on when I go to the local shops that sell that, and I can get it at the pharmacies here. I'm going to keep my eye on those value bins and slowly build up an Idun collection, because I just have the setting sprays in a very like travel sized concealer. I'll link that video if you want to go hear the story of the goddess of Idun, because I think it's a pretty neat story. All right. What's next? I thought that we could use a lot of e.l.f. products today for this stay-at-home look. We're going to use the Thirst Burst Pore Perfecting Toner. You can see I've gotten through a little bit of this. I haven't pulled the trigger and gotten a full size, but I have been experimenting. It has like, it's a very light and clean formula. So, and I do like, I'm a toner person. Like, I don't know, a lot of people are on the fence about you know, toners. Oh, it's really nice. It doesn't, there's no sting, right? It's just, it feels really, really nice. Some people, I was saying, you know, don't use toners on the regular. Some people use it a couple times a week. I almost use toner. Excuse me. Excuse me. So we get at the Gen X Glam and Gab channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm kind of raw and uncut. So if I have to clear my throat, I apologize. I apologize in real time for that. But I use toner almost every day. I'm a big toner fan. Sometimes I'll use a milky toner. Sometimes I'll use a hydrating toner. Sometimes I'll use kind of like a more spa-esque alcohol-based toner, which I'm tending to pull myself as I'm getting more educated in all of the ingredients that are in the products I'm putting on my face. I'm trying to pull away from products that are heavy in alcohol because they dry out the face, and for vintage skin, they settle into our fine lines and accentuate our texture. But this is a really nice, it's exfoliate and quench. It has 2% BHA and 1% hydrating hibiscus complex. I don't want to, it's not super watery. It has a little something in it. I'm not saying it's a thick toner, but it's got something in it. It looks clear, but it's got a little something to it. All right, I was thinking, let's go with the e.l.f. Skin Line Under Eye Cream, I love this, Bright and Brew-tiful, because there's a little bit of caffeine in this. So it's got vitamin C and 3% caffeine blend. It's on I would say it's on the thicker side for an under eye cream, but I really, really do like it. I feel like it brightens and it does wake up that under eye area a bit. Remember, I'm just staying home. We're going to get all of this base skincare down, all the stuff I usually use. I usually do a spritzy spritz. I usually do a toner. If I ration these because I don't know, I'm halfway through them, but I like to do that wipey wipe of the pad, and you're supposed to do that after you have a clean face. My face is totally clean. Just washed it, just sort of getting ready to settle into my day here. And let's not forget, I am going to unbox that gargantuan egg so that you can get a kick out of it too. It won't take us that long. I'm going to drag this down in my lip contour area and around my nose contour area, all the areas where I like to drag those thin under eye creams. It's not just, I just don't stick. I have my own playbook, okay? If it says under eye cream, it doesn't just go under my eyes. It goes in all the spots on my skin where I feel are like the delicate, fragile, or thinning out areas. There we go. Man, I can't wait to use the Miracle Balm. We're going to use it all over. We're going to get a touch of life going everywhere. I pulled out for moisturizer today. Again, I'm not going in really with any makeup, so I'm not looking for a moisturizer that's also like a primer, you know, the makeup's going to stick to. So I pulled out my Pure Skin from e.l.f. dermatologist developed moisturizer. It's got oat milk, ceramides, and niacinamide. So I like this. I like to use this. There it is. Moisturizing cream when I am just chilling or at night. It's like a nighttime one for me too, because I'm not putting really any makeup to speak of on top of it. So I just want all of those yummy ingredients just to kind of chill out, soak into my skin. And when I do my face wash later tonight, I'm going to have the easiest little face wash that you can imagine, because I'm not going to be looking to excavate a whole bunch of like pigmenty creams out of my pores. All right, there we go. There we go. Just it feels so nice. The face is facing. Does that make sense? No, it feels really, really nice, really hydrated, soft. I will use the word supple, even though that's not one of my favorite descriptive words to use, but it does feel, it feels very good. Feels good. I brought out my Bubble Secret Agent Color Correcting Balm Redness Fix. I think I do want to just use a tiny bit of it, even though that is going to make the face wash, you know, I'm gonna have to scrub that out of my pores later because it has a little bit of a pigment to it, but it doesn't, it looks like it has pigment, and look, I'm not going to use that much, but it blends in quite nicely. It's not, I'm just going in this area right here, just in the inside. And it's not pigment in the sense like it's a concealer. It's just a very light barrier of color correcting, just right in that in my nose contour area. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit. I love the name of this thing too. The Secret Agent. The Secret Agent. All right. Now I'm not gonna lie, when I don't want to lie. I might leave the house today, but if I leave the house today, it's just to go on a little bit of a walk because the sun is out. So I am gonna go in with a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury Invisible UV Flawless Poreless Primer in SPF 50. It looks like it's got a tint, but it doesn't really. And I'm not going to put it all over my skin. I'm just going to go on my forehead where the sun might hit. And I've got to protect this upper part of my forehead where my skin is really thin. I've said it before. It's, you know, over the years of playing sports outside and wearing a visor, I've just like really thinned out that upper hairband. Going to go a little bit on my cheeks where the sun, like basically all the places that that we put our bronzer to get that sun-kissed look is where I'm focusing on to protect myself, just in case. This is just in case I decide to get out there and take a little walk. We have a really nice walking path, like literally out the door, and so there's really no reason, there's no excuse not to go for a little walk. Let's let that settle for a minute because we want it to definitely settle in before I go in with the balm. That's giving me a little bit of a glow, like a natural sort of glow, and so I don't want to mask what this balm is capable of doing. Like you could take this balm and just, you know, put it on top of like a regular moisturizer and you'd be totally good to go. Like you could moisturize strategically, you know, give your face a little bit of balmy balm goodness without without a lot of other skincare going on underneath. But I didn't skip any of my normal steps. Now my hands were a little bit greasy. You didn't see me struggling on camera, but I was struggling to get the top off. Here's what we look like inside. Again, it's a balm. I'm going to start with going on my lips with it. It's best to apply with the fingertips. It doesn't really have a scent. There's like a tiny, maybe like rose-like scent, but nothing that's gonna overpower you. But yeah, I'm warming it up with my fingers. We're gonna go on the cheekbones. This is giving a little bit of glow, which to me is a little bit of life going on. See that? And it's a skincare product, so it's hydrating these areas of my face. And you know what? You know, those of us with vintage skin, we can always take, I'm gonna drag it down my nose. We always take that extra burst of hydration, right? As the skin tends to age, it gets a little bit drier. And so these balms like this, and Burt Bees is a very trusted brand, very trusted. They tend to just bring everything back to life. We're going to go on the lids with it. Yep. And drag it up into the eyebrow. You can put this anywhere where you want on your face, and it's going to give you like an instant healthy glow that is just accentuating, if you will, the skincare that went down below it. And I mean, if you think, oh, she looks greasy, I'm just staying home. And I don't think, and when I'm looking at it, it's actually not that greasy. It's not greasy at all. It's not giving me in person as I check myself out in my camera and in the mirror that's behind my camera. I'm not feeling like a greasy. All right, let's just push it in a little bit more. And I'm going to go one step further, okay? I'm going to go one step further to get a tiny, tiny bit of pigment with the Essence Balm. These things are super affordable. I want to say they're like $5. Come in a couple of different hues. They do have a nice little cherry berry scent to them. And it says right on here, tinted lip and cheek balm. But again, you could put this everywhere, really. So we're just going to put a little bit on right in there, just a tiny, tiny flush of color, just a tiny on my nose. I can even go on my lids with it again because it's a balm, right? I can go wherever I want. It's just blending in so well with the rest of the products I put on preceding. All right, tapping it in. It just gives a little bit of a fleshy flush. And that's all we're going to do. Final spray. Let's get this, just another little spritz. and take a look at this egg. You want to see what's in the egg? Let's let that all settle. Lovely. So much fun. I love these stay-at-home skincare days. I truly, truly do. And I'll experience, that's when I really like to like rotate through the various amount of skincare that's in my collection, and specifically, you know, look at what the packaging says it's supposed to do for me, and use it. Right? Today I wanted to have that oak milk vibe in my moisturizer, and that's exactly what we've done. All right, let's look super quick. There it is again. So cute, right? So these things, so you just take the top off. It comes off, right? It's in 2 halves. You might have been able to guess that. I got a bunch of these little milk chocolate lollipops. She likes milk chocolate, so I tried to stick to the milk chocolate. I got a Kinder, like large size bunny, and sort of a smaller bunny. And there's, because it's Kinder, there, I'll show you what just dropped because there were 2 of them in the egg. There's a surprise in there. So on the outside, these Kinder bunnies, it's milk chocolate, and on the inside there's going to be a surprise. I'm throwing in 2 lip balms because he's always losing them. And look, this Pringles fit perfectly in the egg, right? It's so perfect in there. And then more milk chocolate eggs. What do you guys think? What do you think? This is an 18-year-old we're talking about. So let's put this back. So look on the bottom. These things just slide underneath. Those little lollipops, they slide perfectly underneath. I was kind of, I threw the lip balm in. I was kind of eyeballing it when I was buying this stuff. I'm like, I don't want to buy too much where it doesn't fit in there. And then this just rests on top. And then we put our top back on, and voila, there it is. Tell me what you think. Think the 18-year-old's gonna dig that? I think he is. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. If you're watching this real time, happy Sunday. Good, you know, I hope all things are well as you lead into what I hope is not a manic Monday. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care.